Hello. Today I wanted to share with you guys an idea I had for a user interface to use AI that is made from an educational perspective to help people understand what it is and what it is not. So let me dive in. I think it will make all the difference in the whole world and how we understand and think about AI, not just conceptually, but there's so many hidden moving parts in the background that I think about all the time. But I don't know that if I've ever taken the time to just fully say, what would it look like if you could see all the parts and it was completely transparent? So let's take a look here. I've got this mock-up that I created using Figma, and this is kind of like the normal conversation you see. Someone asked a question. This is not real. This is vaporware, but it's just to illustrate the points where you can say, can artificial intelligence ever truly understand consciousness? And then there's this response that comes back and says, that's how it normally works. You know, you type your messages in here and you click send or whatever. But what if there was this tab where you click over and you went into the human patterns? It's an alternate way to look at this situation. So we have like it looks like instead of a chat, it looks like, oh, this is a document that we're creating. It's a human behavior document. And if you go through here, it's got the same thing as the chat where someone asked the question, can artificial intelligence ever truly understand consciousness? And then it has the just built into the document, here's the next text that was generated based on this question. But what's unique about this is you can see all the hidden text. So like if I zoom in here, this is all the text. You know, the way AI works is there is a whole bunch of text and then word prediction happens that shows you what text comes next based on all that came before. The only thing is, most of the time, you don't get to see the text that came before. It gets kind of squirreled away into the hidden parts of the company, and it's kind of secret about how they do it. But see, if we thought of this as building a human document, and instead of having a bunch of chats, we were building documents. Like here's this little side panel over here where instead of seeing your chat history, you're saying, oh, here's all the documents I created, the human behavioral documents, where you put in some text and you see how the behavior of humanity would, you know, through word prediction and statistics, show you what words would come next, through math, through statistics. So over here, if we zoomed in, we get to see exactly what's in here. Like if I click on this, I can say, oh, the base law, in this case, it could be any model, but in this case, it was ChatGPT 5.4. It represents all the human behavioral, linguistic behaviors of everybody on the planet, from all the authors and all the people who have contributed text. That's the first one. And then the next one is these are the next words that get inserted into this human behavior document. And this is the global requested behaviors. Like this is everything, the good and bad behaviors of all humanity, but we're adding on the this particular document. If we click on it and we opened it up, you can go see this actual text gets added to everything you type before you get a chance to type or speak anything into AI. Um, this happens first. Notice this part. The rest of this document consists of direct instructions to the model. This is the actual text, this whole document, except this blue stuff is commentary. But you get to see all the stuff in here that control the behavior of it and staying in bounds, seeking the truth together. I've done different videos where I've gone, you know, into the depths of all the stuff that's in here. Be curious, be clear and direct, be suitable. I mean, every type of behavioral thing you would want in general from a document is stored in here. But that text comes next. After the model comes that text. It influences every time you interact with the technology. After that one comes ongoing requested behaviors. This part's optional. Um, some people say there's GPTs or gems. All it is a little bit of text that you as the user want to insert before you ask anything. Like if you're going to ask this, maybe someone wanted to insert the text, maintain academic rigor while maintaining accessibility to interdisciplinary readers. And if we went back up to this little side panel, oh, here's some commonly needed behaviors that you might want to insert here. It's just a way to insert stuff from the clipboard or whatever into your human behavior document that you're building. So there's the foundation. There's any text that you might want to reuse or even a reusable, clip or prompt or something that you've saved. You just want to clip in here. But then you ask your question, and there's a place to type in some more stuff down here. But once upon a time, it was here, and you could do, can artificial intelligence ever truly understand consciousness? And you say, okay, generate the next text. But before it generates it, some more text gets inserted. Like for instance, this Q&A to enhance behavioral responses. In the AI world, they say, oh, if you include this section, it's called a reasoning model or a thinking model. But it's not really reasoning or thinking. It's just a standard list of questions. These are some guesses of what questions might be like, we just said, can artificial intelligence ever truly understand consciousness? Well, what are we trying to achieve in this document? Well, here, if we did a little tiny call off to some uh, text generation, word prediction engine, we would get this. Oh, we are aiming to provide a thoughtful interdisciplinary exploration of whether artificial systems can experience qualia, grounding the answer in both philosophy and modern science. This extra text getting inserted helps out a little bit with this overall construction of this document. What list of steps will help us fulfill whatever the user is trying to accomplish here? And then, oh, this is the text we might insert. Step one, step two, step three, use human behavioral data to show where they diverge. That's a little word generated response to this question based on the context so far. And then here's just another third one. I don't know what the actual ones are, but it's the idea, you send this off to your model to generate these answers, and then they'll say, oh, now the model in the intelligence metaphor, they say it's smarter because we've added this section of text to the document. Uh, and here's the last answer. The response must include clear definitions of subjective experience, references to establish human source material, and an empathetic, curious tone. So that's this Q&A, sometimes called a reasoning model, sometimes called thinking, if you see that in any of the AI journeys you've had. But here, it's just a part of the document. It's just extra text. The next thing that gets inserted in the background that you might not see is the personalized relevant information search. Based on what's known about you, uh, come down here. There's just some key search terms, just like a Google search. Uh, we're talking about consciousness, subjective experience, AI philosophy, user preferences, academic depth. Coming down here, so based on that search, we go out and we find, is there anything in the chat history, some snippets we can pull back? And oh, here's a little quote that came back. I really prefer explanatory depth over brevity. I want to build a deep analysis of AI philosophy. Oh, AI philosophy was a search term. It found this in my chat. So it pulls this text into the human behavioral document. Next, a snippet from an email, where an email, I mean, if you hook up these connections, your AI can see them and search them and pull this stuff in. You might pull a piece of an email that said, looking forward to your keynote at the conference on human-centered AI literacy next month. Here's another snippet of just recorded notes that may be stored over time, depending on what AI you're using. User has an advanced background in cognitive science. It's just a little fact that's inserted here. Sometimes all the little facts are inserted here, but it's just text. And if it finds documents, if you've hooked it up to search, OneDrive or your Google Doc Cloud or wherever you store your documents, it'll search those for you. If it finds documents that seem relevant, it'll pull those in. If when you've got that hooked up and that's what you're trying to do. But this whole section is the personalized relevant information section. And again, overall, we're just building the text of this document. We started on this foundation, we've got our question, we've got the general Q&A, we've got the personalized relevant information search, but then we can also search the internet. And then we go out to the internet and you can see here uh, it uses the search terms and finds, oh, Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy on Consciousness. It shows the web address where it found something related to your search terms. And and here's the direct quote that it pulls from the website and sticks it in here. Same thing with these other web things, the hard problem of consciousness and artificial consciousness, MIT Technology Review. Whatever it can pull from the web, it pulls a little snippet or a clip. It sticks in the document. All this stuff is going to contribute what comes next. So now with all of this stuff built into the document, this first can artificial intelligence ever truly understand consciousness? It comes up with these word choices that get predicted next. And so the fact that we've done such good work at including all this stuff, we get better and better answers. Otherwise, it might not seem as tailored to what we wanted. But it comes back with this response, artificial intelligence systems increasingly demonstrate capabilities that parallel certain aspects of human cognition. And these are the word things. And I added a feature here just so you could see this token insight. If you turn it on and you look at the response artificial intelligence systems increasingly come back, you can hover on any word and you can say, oh, this word was increasingly, for instance, was the most likely statistically probability word chosen for this spot in our journey in this context. Here, I mean, it's not listing the exact alternatives, but you could, if we turned on logging, and modern AI engines allow you to do this, you could turn on the logging and you can see all of the runner-up words that would show up for this. So I'm demoing this, how it might work, but everything I'm showing you today is completely doable and buildable if someone had the gumption to put it all together and pay for the interaction with the models, on a token by token basis. I'm interested to see if anyone's interested, but so you can see, oh, for each word, you can pick and see here's all the alternative words that would come back. That gives you a layer of transparency to see, oh, here are the tokens. And if you kept adding on to this document, you could in over the conversation land, we would just be adding more to the conversation. But over here in human patterns, we see everything that's come before and we continue. And you keep continuing until the document gets so big that, all of it can't fit into the context window of the document. And then just the recent parts of your document get included with your conversation going forward. And I put an extra button down here. I really love the idea of instead of typing, since we're doing human behaviors, we want to see what human behavioral word choices come back. You need to act like a human with your words because the way you behave with your mouth and your vocal cords is much different than how you behave with your fingers. And here, I'm saying, oh, you click this and then you stop the recording and then based on what you said, you can append it to the document and then hit generate again. And you just keep building your document like this. And notice there's no mention of artificial intelligence here. We're interacting with human behavioral data and we're building a human behavioral document statistically. Over here on the right, here are some other things that might help you based on the document that you're currently making. You could say, oh, what is the current perspective and bias? Oh, this is an academic explanatory type perspective that we're currently exploring among all the places we could go throughout humanity and the billions of perspectives of all the people that exist in the world. The academic explanatory thing is right here. And then the next I have over here, the behavioral significance. Based on everything that has been coming out of these parts of the document here, you know, this is a query you can ask any model that you want to interact with and say, show me the behavioral, how frequently is this discussed on a scale of +5 to -5, which is -5 is rarely discussed, +5 is frequently discussed. you know, Give me the score of this particular conversation. Or am I talking about something really niche all the way through something that's really popular? You know, you could do -5 to +5 and say, hey, rate this conversation on how niche my topic is or how popular my topic is. And then you can get an idea, where am I in the world of content when it comes to understanding my place? And then here's another query. You could just say, oh, tell me the contributing voice approximations and give me the percentages back for all the different kinds of people that could be contributing to a conversation with these word choices and this kind of contextual way of interacting here. And most AI models can give you this breakdown like this based on the topics you're choosing. In this case, 19th century political historian, contemporary scientist journalist. At 12% was academic philosophy lecturer, 11% was computational neuroscience researcher. So coming down through here, the last thing for analysis of the human behavioral document would be statistical popularity setting. If we set it to like most words, which is temperature equals zero, temperature is this AI term where zero is, hey, don't ever use an alternative. Only use the winning top statistic uh, choice from the model for each word choice for the whole duration of the interaction. But then, here you could say, oh no, give me middle of the road. You can include some of the alternatives. I don't need the mathematical precision accuracy of statistics in this case. I'll take the runner-ups. They're good too. Or you could enter a custom one where you could say, oh, I want to give even more flexible with the word choices or less flexible with the word choices, but not completely absolute. So I hope this helps you to see, we could have released AI to the world like this as a human behavioral document where we're just predicting words based on the data and using math. And if this has been helpful to you, or this is, I mean, this is probably as far as I'm gonna take this idea going forward. But if this has been helpful to you, then please let me know. And or if you just want to take this idea and build your own model based on these concepts, you can, because I think it has a lot of educational value and could help out a lot with lowering the fears, de-escalating the hype, and helping people see, oh, we built a mathematical way to look at all the data of the people of our world. And that's so much different than the intelligence metaphor, because when you talk about that, it's more like an AI ghost story, and that's not what we have. We have so many people trying to help on so many different topics throughout our world that statistically, the word choices are meaningful that come back. I don't want to belabor the point, but I hope this was helpful. And until next time, take care.